headquarters of common sense.
Talk Radio.
Live in Kiev, it's Kira Rudik. Kira, very good morning to you.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Not at all. Thanks very much indeed. How are things there today, Kira?
Well, there was another shelling, a couple of hours ago here in Kiev, and the fire is already tamed, but the problem, a general problem, continues. We are not capable to protect ourselves from the air. So I have very high hopes on the NATO summit tomorrow, that there will be decisions that will help us, that the no from NATO on the no-fly zone or other support will be lifted and reconsidered. Because from NATO saying no to us, we didn't stop needing it, because our cities are continuously being shelled, being destroyed, being taken to the ground, and there is nothing we can do about it. So what the world is doing? Just watching this and saying, so sorry?
Yes. I mean, what we are told from here is that Britain is helping with weaponry. We read this morning that some of the weapons might need replenishing, that weapons are running out, but they have been quite effective against the Russian tanks.
Yes, and we are extremely grateful for everything that we are receiving right now, that we are able to destroy them on the ground. We are fighting on the ground very well. And you see that there has not been any major city taken since the day one.
Yeah.
Today it's day 27. And this is happening as well with the international support. And I'm really grateful to the United Kingdom. But the issue remains the same. From the air, they are bombarding our cities. And we can be as brave as possible. We can train to fight them. We can save as much food to survive a siege. But when the rocket comes into your house, what can you do?
Exactly right. What is your day-to-day life like in Kiev, Kira? Because we hear all the time that the Russian advance comes and then goes back, and it hasn't quite reached Kiev, or parts of it are involved in sort of street fighting and that kind of thing. What's it actually like to live in Kiev right now?
So they are trying to surround Kiev. So there are some entrances and exits from the city that is not controlled by us. However, we still have enough of food. We have supplies. We have water. We have internet and electricity and sanitation. So this makes it, a little bit harder. But in terms of infrastructure, we are doing okay.
Yes.
And it turned out you don't need that much to live your normal life during the war.
Right.
The major threat remains the Air Force attacks. Because you don't know, when you're going to bed, I can tell you this, you don't know if you are going to wake up. 2 days ago, I've been at this shopping center that was destroyed by Russian missile because they said that they decided that there were Nazis there. I can tell you, there were no people inside it at night. However, 8 people that died of this explosion, they died in their homes.
Right.
They were 700 meters from the explosion because of the destruction.
Right.
So this is what is scary, and this is what is the main risk right now in Kiev.
Right. And people talk about the Nazi threat in Ukraine a lot. You know, much of it comes from Russian propaganda, we know. But there are allegations that there are Nazi regulars in the Ukrainian army. Is that true?
No, it's not true. If it was true, why would the whole democratic world deal with us or have anything to do with us? Don't you think that it would be first pointed out not by Russians but by democratic countries United States and Great Britain saying, hey guys, you have Nazis here?
Right.
I think that would be different way. So
yes.
Russia is saying, oh, we found some Nazis here. It's probably another lie, another BS that they are giving as a propaganda.
Yes. I mean, they do a lot of that. There's also another line. I mean, I'm grateful for you to be here because you can tell us the truth about what is actually going on. Yeah, one of the other things, I mean, you're the leader of the Voice political party, which is the opposition party, is it not, in Ukraine? And we are told by some who I guess, listen to the Russian propaganda machine, that there are no opposition parties allowed anymore in Ukraine.
What do you mean? No, this is not true. I am a leader of an opposition party, and
right.
We are operating. We have representations in all the regions right now, and they're all working.
Yes.
What they are intending to say is that the president actually stopped the operating of pro-Russian parties, and that's true. During the war, you cannot have the enemy inside the country.
Yeah.
And though there are questions on mechanics of how it was done, the intention was not not questioned. And all the opposition parties that are working for Ukraine, they continue working.
Yes.
We continue working.
No, I'm pleased that you were able to make that clear. And as far as the split in the country, as far as the peace talks are concerned, what's your understanding of how those are going? Because we've heard different stories, I suppose, that the Russian side may be more interested in peace now than they were maybe a week ago. What are you hearing?
So the main question in all the peace talks and peace negotiations is who is going to be a guarantee for Russia, that Russia wouldn't change its mind and keep their word. Right now, I don't see a line of world leaders who would say, yeah, it's me, make us the security guarantee. And without that, there is no point talking to Russia. Look, we are trying to get people of Mariupol, that is a siege city, where all the most terrible things happen. All the war crimes are happening there. And we are trying to get people out to evacuate them, the peaceful convoys. Russia has been continuously promising to let people out. And every single time the humanitarian convoy is trying to get out, they are firing at it. They are firing their guns. So in this terrific but fairly minor negotiation, they cannot keep their word. So what is like about making like a bigger deal with them? There is no point, because we know that they will break their word. And going to Mariupol, you know, like the terrifying things that we are hearing from there, they're just not getting into my mind. Like they're saying that because of the spring, they right now don't have snow and they are not able to melt it for the water. So they say will be dying faster. And it's unbelievable, because they don't have food, they don't have water, they don't have electricity, sanitation. So the city is basically taken to the ground, and Russians are keeping them inside, not letting them out, and the people just dying there. And this is, again, like all the war crimes are happening there on the ground right now, and there is not much, again, we can do without the protection from the air.
No, of course. And if you weren't able to get the no-fly zone, is America still talking about giving, like, Patriot missile bases and that kind of thing? Because that would be at least something, wouldn't it?
Yes. So if we are not getting no-fly zone, we are expecting that at least we will get the jets and the Patriots, so that we will be able to protect ourselves. Right. Without that, we will be always very brave and will be fighting them on the ground. But what you see in Mariupol will expand. They will be able just to, without attacking, to surround the city, to take it to the ground and just starve people out.
And as far as the other final story I just want to ask you about, Kira, we heard reports overnight that some children were being taken to Russia, possibly against their will, from, I think, the eastern part of the country. Russia saying that they were refugees, other people in Ukraine saying that they were more or less prisoners.
Yeah, this is another of the war crime that has been committed. Again, like along with Hitler's book that Putin is going with, that they are taking children, and not only children, women and children and teenagers to Russia against their will. They are taking their passports and documents. They will plan to exchange them for the war prisoners that we have right now in Ukraine. And this is the plan. But again, this is all so surreal and so going against all the rules, not even the rules of law, not even international rules, not even like some war agreements. It's just the lowest of the low that is happening. And what I'm so upset about is that the whole world is saying we are supporting you, but there is nothing that can be done to stop this right now. We are fighting to stop it, but obviously there is more to be done to actually stop these things from happening to my people.
Of course. You must wake up in the morning, Kira, and wonder when it's going to end.
Well, we have it very simple. We know that for 30 years, Russia has never taken any troops from somewhere where they will put them. We know that. So these are the facts that make us logically think of what's going to happen next. So we know it's either we let them stay here, or we will kill everybody who has come to our land, every single soldier. So we look at it as a task to make sure that Russia collapses, but on the other hand, that everybody who is already here will need to be taken down. And that would take time. We also know that.
Yes. Well, we wish you luck, Kira, and we will pass your messages on to all the people that need to see them and to hear them. Thank you very much for your time. Kira Rudik there, Ukrainian MP, leader of the Voice political party in Kiev, which is actually the official opposition party